Kim Kardashian has been at the center of the public's attention over the past decade for a variety of reasons. From being the star of one of the world's most popular reality shows, to her turbulent marriage to controversial rapper Kanye West, the public has never been able to get enough of Kim's exploits. However, in 2016, the celebrity socialite was getting media exposure for an event she didn't want anything to do with. In October of that year, she was staying in Paris for Paris Fashion Week. During that stay, she was robbed at gunpoint in her own hotel room. Join Trender as we meet the grandpa robber who kidnapped Kim Kardashian. Despite the public's general mixed feelings about Kim Kardashian, many found themselves on her side after a 2016 event that made national headlines. In October of 2016, she was staying at a hotel room in Paris. Suddenly, 5 people dressed up as police officers broke into the room, tied up Kim, and took what has been estimated to be around $10 million of the star's jewelry. The thieves had managed to get as far as they did by intimidating the concierge of the hotel. Once they managed to get to Kim's room, they held her at gunpoint and tied her legs and wrists with duct tape. Then they covered the star's mouth and left her in a bathtub before escaping. As the story goes, Kim managed to get her arms free, allowing her to remove the covering from her mouth and scream for help. However, the thieves had already escaped. After this incident, Kim was understandably shaken. Filming for the next episode of her hit reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, was put on hold so the star could recover from her shock. The incident immediately became national news. While most were on Kim's side, there were many who expressed doubts in regards to Kim's testimony. A released video didn't seem to completely corroborate her story. She fired back at outlets that questioned her narrative with a lawsuit, but dropped the lawsuit only a few weeks later. Before October was over, production resumed on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The assailants ended up being caught, including a 67-year-old man named Yunice Abaas. Yunice awaits trial for his crime and has written a book titled I Kidnapped Kim Kardashian. Unsurprisingly, the confession from this grandpa robber, as he refers to himself, has brought the 2016 incident back into the forefront of the public consciousness. According to the grandpa robber, he had no idea who Kim Kardashian was as he was breaking into her Paris hotel room. Yunice was a longtime gangster and crook, and the robbery of Kim was simply his latest assignment. He was given the job by I Kidnapped. Along with 4 other senior citizens, Yunice was tasked with robbing a figure who was described by Kardashian as the wife of a famous rapper. He proceeded to learn the true identity of Kim Kardashian as he was watching the coverage of the robbery. According to Yunice, he was watching the coverage with his wife, who was quick to put together that her husband hadn't come home the previous night. Despite the robbery being performed exclusively by men over the age of 60, it has gone down in history as the biggest robbery of a single individual that has occurred in France over the past 2 decades. Although Yunice has come forward with this confession, most of the items that were stolen from Kim have yet to be found. According to Yunice, the massive exposure the crime started getting immediately made the experienced thief nervous. He understood they were going to be caught because they weren't prepared and didn't know the crime was going to make that much noise. Despite the exposure the crime received afterwards, Yunice has said that the crime itself went off without a hitch. He also claimed that the crime was the result of a member of Kim's personal entourage giving Kardashian a tip about when Kim would be vulnerable to the attack. In his confession, Yunice claimed that the robbery took around 7 minutes and went smoothly because nobody interfered, adding that the victim handed over the jewels without resistance. Yunice has claimed that he was the last of the 5 robbers to leave the building, and coincidentally came face-to-face with some patrolling police officers as he exited the hotel room. Yunice gave a salute to the unaware officers and was on his way. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to hit the like button, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss any upcoming content. After eschewing the attention of the unsuspecting police officers, Yunice journeyed to a nearby location where he had hidden a getaway bike. Suddenly, he heard the sound of a mobile phone going off inside his bag. He looked in the bag and found his accomplices had taken Kim's cell phone. Cursing his accomplices, Yunice tossed the phone into a body of water and proceeded to evacuate the scene on his getaway bike. However, he hit a pothole that caused him to crash, scattering the stolen jewelry all over the pavement. He managed to pick up most of the pieces, but left one accidentally. That single piece of jewelry is the only item stolen during the robbery that has been recovered. Despite the ease with which the robbery occurred, Yunice ended up being caught by police as a result of DNA that was found on the hotel concierge that he and his accomplices had intimidated in order to gain access to Kim's room. Many officers were surprised at the 67-year-old robber's age. According to Yunice, there is a form of respect between men his age and policemen. Yunice has said that he feels most cops are honest people who do a respectable job. He had taken the robbery job due to the fact he was offered it at a time when he needed the money. He had been in and out of jail his whole life for similar crimes, having done time totaling 21 years. Before robbing Kim with his 4 accomplices, he alleges he hadn't committed a robbery in 9 years. After being caught by police, Yunice served 22 months in prison before being released due to health concerns. It's debatable whether he will continue to remain out of prison now that he has undergone his scheduled heart surgery. His trial will begin in 2021. In the meantime, Yunice has publicly apologized to Kim and is attempting to come clean to the world in the form of his new book. According to Yunice, he regrets what he did, and not just because he was caught. He added that he and his accomplices were gentle while robbing Kim. Although Yunice seems to have come to terms with the crime, it's a memory that still haunts Kim. According to her, she was already having vague anxieties about terrorist activity before journeying to Paris for Paris Fashion Week. The star had been haunted by premonitions, and it was with some hesitation she ended up making the trip. Given these fears, the event likely did a good deal more psychological damage than the 5 robbers intended. During the robbery, Kim was under the impression she was being kidnapped by terrorists for political reasons. She might have been less traumatized by the incident had she understood the robbers' purely monetary intentions. There was also the nature that the robbery seemed to be an inside job, with the robbers having been given information by one of Kim's associates. According to Kim, the robbers knew her movements and where she was going to be. This led the star to hypothesize someone in her entourage had tipped these robbers off. This has been backed up by Yunice in his book. This fact has led Kim to become a good deal more paranoid about who she lets around. One of her drivers, Gary Madar, was arrested under suspicions of colluding in the robbery. However, he was released under controlled supervision. Whether or not this is the figure who leaked the inside information is open for debate, but Kim seems to have her suspicions. The robbery occurred in the early hours of the morning, while Kim was changing into clothes to go clubbing. She was naked under the bathrobe the robbers found her in, but she claims they did not sexually assault her. They forcibly removed her jewelry, including the wedding ring that had been given to her by husband Kanye West. The ring was estimated to be worth around $4 million. After the event, Kim decided she needed a new bodyguard. Now we want to hear from you. Comment down below to share whether or not you're interested in glancing at I Kidnapped Kim Kardashian for yourself, or if you think a veteran criminal doesn't deserve the newfound fame he's getting for his crimes. And be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.